You've just got off the plane a few hours ago. You've seen your family, but you've also left some people behind.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind?
Apart from exhaustion, look, I'm absolutely elated. I'm still floating about 10 feet off the deck at the moment. The thing that's constantly surprised me, it's constantly amazed me about this whole experience so far has been just the sheer scale of the interest, of the public interest. I went for a walk. Every other person was practically we passed was sort of casting his glances, and a couple of people sort of said hello. It's really overwhelming. The size of the media pack has blown me away. When we flew in last night, I was thinking that we're arriving after midnight. It's way past all the news bulletins locally. It's after the newspapers have gone to bed. No one's really going to want to show up at that kind of time of the night. And I thought we'd be lucky if we got maybe a dozen journalists and camera crews out there. And then to walk through that gate and to see this massive wall of cameramen and photographers and journalists and people all shouting and the lights and everything, it's just blown me away. I'm absolutely staggered by it.
To rewind slightly, December 2013,
Yeah.
You arrived in Cairo for the first time. What did you think you were in for?
As far as I was concerned, we were doing routine bureau cover. I had no experience of Egypt before. I'd come to Egypt just to fill in while the usual correspondents were away over the Christmas and New Year period. And so my approach was the same as it is for any assignment like that. If you're new in a region, you don't know where the boundaries are, you don't know what the limits are, what you can get away with, you don't quite understand the political subtleties. You play it safe, you play it with a straight bat. You don't test those boundaries until you know where they are. And so it was basically treading water. Now I knew obviously that there was political sensitivities. I knew it was a difficult time in Egypt, and I was aware that it was going through a difficult transition, but I never in a million years did I imagine that we'd get drawn into it in the way that we did.
What was the worst moment in your experience?
The day that we were convicted was pretty tough, and it just felt like being punched, like being king hit, I think. We were always confident that we were innocent, and so to see the judge disagree with that and convict us and sentence us to 7 years was very confronting. We went back to ourselves and kind of pulled ourselves together a bit and sort of took a deep breath and thought, well, okay, this is the situation we're in. We simply have to look ahead and work out how we take the fight to the next level. As I said, you pull yourself together. You have to deal with it. You have to accept it. And one of the things that I've learned out of this experience is that when you're forced into these kinds of difficult environments, you discover things about yourself. You discover that you're better able to cope than you probably imagine. I think that's true not just of me, but of everyone out there.
What do you make of the focus on you as, in a way, the figurehead of the campaign?
The thing is, I am genuinely puzzled by the way this has turned out. It's been quite a phenomenon, however you cut it. Whether it's the focus has been on me as an individual or on the three of us as a group. The fact is, I think a lot of people have latched on to our case, to our story, as it were, and seen some fairly powerful things in it. I'm very gratified by that. I mean, I'm really moved by the extent to which the media community has lined up behind us. This community is pretty fractious and cantankerous at the best of times, so to see them display such unity is really, really overwhelming and gratifying, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very humbled as well. Why it's revolved around me in the way that it has, I really don't know, but perhaps that's, if it needs an individual, then somehow I managed to take on that role. It's nice to see in a way, but I just hope that people recognise that there are three of us in this as well, and that two people are still there.
in order to win this vote, he's made all kinds of desperate promises. You can sort of see his political authority bleeding away, and that means his